Hello replay viewers. What's up guys? Happy Tuesday. We are going to get right into it today. There's about a bunch of things that are happening. BMS drummer, Connor Regal. Hello guys, welcome. Thanks for coming in. Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys had a great day. Andre, thanks for sharing Matthew's scope earlier. Matthew, is that right, Andre? It was a name that I didn't recognize and I only caught a little bit of it. Tony, welcome to the room. Good to see you guys. Yeah, thank you very much. On that note, if you wouldn't mind sharing, guys, the Twitter feed is still not spreading out for me. So if you wouldn't mind stopping right and sharing with your followers, let's spread some good practice vibes. You know, someone was asking why I started doing the hashtag play 5 for 5 the other day. And it's because when I first got onto Periscope, I noticed a lot of people practicing. Yep, I am recording from WGI. He's my section leader. Oh, cool. Awesome. When I first got on Periscope, I noticed a lot of people who were practicing, but you know, when you get on and you just kind of play stuff for a little bit of time, that's not the same thing as choosing something and saying like, I'm going to work on this. Buenas noches, amigo. ¿Dónde es? Muy bien, gracias. When I first got on, people were just getting on and playing stuff, right? And I think through this hashtag play 5 for 5, it's a little trigger to remind you that you need to practice. Like earlier I was working upstairs, I was like, ooh, I haven't done my hashtag play 5 for 5 today yet, so that's why I got on to do my hashtag play 5 for 5, and also it gives you a target to work on as you're practicing. So this week, if you're just joining us for the first time, my name is Huei. I'm a musician here in Los Angeles, California. Thank you for the incoming hearts as we're tapping on those coming in. This is day 2 of week number 5. If you haven't started yet, you could start tonight. You can even start tomorrow, and the goal is to finish by Sunday. So we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the goal is just to practice for 5 minutes for 5 days in a row. The consistency portion is very important. I want milk. So as we're doing this, we're gonna practice, today's Tuesday, I'll finish on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week. But if you start this week, a couple things that you can work on. Now before I start, if you missed the replay from yesterday, I don't know if it's still up, but you can check it out. Yes, this is the ash pat, and this is actually day 3, I think, which was Nathan, was day 3. I'll be sending this pad out later this week, so I'm just getting to enjoy it for a little bit longer as I do my hashtag play 5 for 5. But what I want to show you is this. This is my practice chart. Hello, good evening. What's a Beetle Percussion? Beetle Percussion is a percussion company based out of Kansas City. And they make percussion products out of recycled materials. This particular model is made out of ash wood and car tires recycled from Northern California. I think it's Northern California, but from California. And they also make practice pads from beetle-killed pine, which is how you get that really cool stain, the blue, gray, red, and they also use the recycled car tires on there. So it's like an ecologically focused company, but also recognizing the heart of the percussion community. So the cool thing about yesterday's lesson, guys, if you caught the replay from yesterday, is I've already planned out my lesson for tonight, which is 16th note grid, 2 accents. I'm gonna do 10 reps at 80 with the fill, 10 reps without the fill, and then I'm gonna do 100, and then I'm gonna do 120. And then I made some notes to myself yesterday, which was to try using the metronome on beats 2 and 4, multiple heights. Nolan mentioned 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I'm going to try 4-2-1ing it today, and I noticed that I was slow at 100 beats yesterday. So these are all notes that I remind myself. And the thing that I want to share with everyone as I'm practicing is the key to making your practice chart is to plan out your practice session at the end of the previous session. So for example, yesterday, at the end of my practice session, I planned out what I'm practicing today. Thank you for those hearts, I see those. And then at the end of today's practice session, I'm going to plan out tomorrow's lesson. How can I win the ash pad? You know, the ash pad was already part of the giveaway, which is from last week, so there are no more ash pads to give away at this point. But if you'd like to win a floppy pad, which is this is the same 1/4-inch rubber that's on the ash pad. You can win one of these floppy pads this week. There's one person that I'm going to select, provided that they do the following. Number 1, if you complete this week's hashtag play 5 for 5, you practice for 5 minutes for 5 days in a row, working on 2 accent 16th note timing. So do that for 5 days in a row. Periscope yourself, use the hashtag play 5 for 5. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is if you fill out a practice journal. You can use this practice chart, which is a free download. If you check out the Gridbook Radio show, which is on SoundCloud, if you go to SoundCloud and search Gridbook Series, you can find this PDF, which is a free download for that show. Or you can just use a lab notebook, which is what I'm doing here. So far, I've seen, hey Garrett, what's happening, bud? I've seen Kelsey Music. Kels has been doing it, and she's using the notebook format, which is what I usually do when I'm using the chart. And then today I saw Matthew jump on, and he started his hashtag 5-5 day. And I can practice and playing them out. You got it. All right, guys. Today is a business practice session, which means I'm not going to talk a whole bunch. And I'm going to get right to it. Hey, man, got to head out, but I'm going to share and catch the replay. No worries. Thanks, Garrett. Thanks for jumping in and saying hello. Are there any quick questions before I get started here? Because once I get started, I'm just going to practice for 5 minutes. Guys, log my time. And then tonight, I'm in the middle of editing WGI footage right now. Nolan is ready to go. Let's drum. Nolan, are you going to drum with me? Awesome. I was thinking about you yesterday when you were talking about how you're a drum set player and you incorporate your feet into this. So that's really cool. Is it better to practice standing or sitting? Definitely, I think if you want to emulate the closest thing of taking an audition or playing a drum line, standing up is going to be your best bet. When I was in high school, I used to stand up and practice all the time. I actually did all my practicing in the bathroom. What was the acronym for the 4 stroke types? Full down, tap up. Full down, tap up. I don't know if there's an acronym for it. I didn't have a clever acronym for it. But I would do all my practicing in the bathroom because the mirror was in the bathroom, and I would put the practice pad on the countertop and it just happened to be the right height. All my private lessons in high school when I did my marching lessons were sitting still on a drum set stand just like this, practice pad across with my teacher sitting across from me, and I just would look at the teacher and look at myself and go back and forth and try to emulate my teacher. So I think if you can, standing up is better, but sitting down, I turned out okay too. That's what I do. Cool, full down, tap up, or fud two. Okay, all right guys, well I hope you had a great Tuesday, and timer's on, let's get to it. Thanks for those hearts. one thing I noticed yesterday about my sticks in is that when I bring my sticks in, somehow I develop this habit of doing this, and that's a no-no. Thumb on the side. Thumb on the side. So don't follow that example if you happen to notice that in yesterday's play. Okay, so did some 4-2-1. Notice I did some A-B comparison with the 16th notes and the, to maintain the grip. Yeah, it just looks uniform, especially if you're doing this with the line. Okay, here we go, 100. How do you work on wrist rotation in the left? Connor, you should check out lesson number 5, I believe it is, on my YouTube page. Did a whole lesson on left hand, and that might help you. Try that out. If that doesn't help, then message me and I'll give you a hand. Okay? All right, here we go. 100. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. You don't want the metronome to be blaring in your face because ultimately you want the time to be coming from inside you, not the metronome. So I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. Bury it. Nolan, left foot, hi-hat, 8th notes. Of the 4 patterns, I'm just curious, of the 4 patterns, 1E, if you say the first one is 1E, or number 2 is E and, number 3 is and, number 4 is 1, 1, 2, 3, or 4, which of these patterns do you find the most challenging, or maybe the least comfortable? I'm just curious what you guys think. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Poll the audience. 3. That's a good one for like country beats, right? Personally, I find the E and, I find that I want to come in a little bit late on. If you don't prep that left hand early enough. 2 or 4 E and, or 1, a 2. Yeah. It depends on context, but probably 2. Rush to downbeat on 4. Yeah. So it's just being aware of these things. Okay. 10 and 10, here we go, 120. Thanks for the hearts. Thank you. Thanks for the share. All right, one thing that I wanted to mention is I was talking to Bradley yesterday, and he made a really good point, which is I think a lot of people don't realize just how many reps upon reps upon reps you've got to do of these exercises. Like guys who you see who can really, really play, they've spent so many hours just repping these exercises. And if you guys know what I'm talking about in terms of reps, I mean like tapping hearts, those are reps. When I was in high school, I remember my high school teacher said that when he was auditioning for drum corps, he would go into the basement and he would draw a dot, and his basement was brick, and he took a Sharpie and he drew a black dot on the wall, and he would just sit there and rep exercises and stare at that black dot on the wall and try to burn a hole through the wall with his eyes, you know. And the analogy I always give my students is if you imagine that you're Superman and you've got lightning, your like laser beams coming out of your eyes, and you're just trying to sear a hole through the wall as you're playing. There's that kind of practicing. There's the look in the mirror kind of practicing. 20 times perfect in succession to play it once. Scary. Yeah, and that's what I used to do is, I would just go and rep it like crazy. Now try it at 90 BPM. Nolan. Oh, I see you want me to downshift. That's cool. That's another good point that I think a lot of people don't do too, is that they don't practice. It's like circuit training. Like you only amp it up and you go 80, 100, 120. Sometimes it's cool to kind of test yourself and see if you can downshift and catch the new tempo. How many often have you seen a drum line where the tempo goes faster and they're slow the first rep, or the tempo's slower and then they rush the first rep? So I accept your challenge, Nolan. I'll put it on 90 and I'll see if I can catch the new tempo on the first try. I'll be honest, guys, the E-An still don't feel super comfortable for me. Of the four, E-An is the least comfortable. Like 1, 3, and 4 I think are okay. Quick story, and I think we're gonna be done for the night, which is one of my friends who's really good at this kind of stuff is a friend by the name of Ben Finley. We went to school together at UT Austin when I was doing my undergrad. He was finishing up his doctorate. We were playing a piece called The So-Called Laws of Nature by Lang. And we were playing this piece, and he was so nice about it, meaning he didn't just tell me straight up like, hey, you're rushing to beat 1. But the sign of a mature player, and Ben was doing his doctorate, so he was a much more player, one of the best teachers I've ever played with, percussionists I've ever played with. But what he was pointing out was not to rush to beat 1. A lot of times people want to go, and they want to jump the gun to beat 1. But the key is to hold back. Most people want to rush when it's slow, or they want to drag when it's fast. They want to do what's comfortable. So if you're going slow, I encourage you to hold back and try to play just a little bit later than what you think. Okay, one last time and we'll call it a night. I have an idea. I'm going to do it off the left a couple times, and maybe that'll help me with that. Thanks for the hearts, guys. One technique I use a lot for tempo control is going up 2 and down 1, or up 4 and down 2 continuously. Up 2, down 1, up 4, down. Like tempos, like beats per minute, Tony? Up 4 beats, down 2 beats, or reps. Thanks for those hearts, turquoise. So rep 1's like at 80, then up 4 like to 84. So front's at like 80, then back down to 84, 82, 86, 84. Ooh, that's like a long circuit training one. Yes. Oh, cool. I gotta try that sometime. Is that Tony? Oh no, it's CPEM. Okay, cool. All right, here we go. What am I doing? Off the left. See, I was rushing. So for me, I'm going to write this down because I've made a small discovery here, which is the tendency is to prep late for E and. So I just need to make sure that I'm on top of it for prepping the end. Okay, so here we go. Writing notes for today. For tomorrow's lesson, I'm planning tomorrow's lesson today while it's fresh in my mind. And if you caught yesterday's scope, you'll know that this is a major secret. And I didn't mention this yesterday, but this is a good secret for not just practicing, but also teaching. If you're making lesson plans, make lesson plans immediately following the rehearsal while everything's still fresh in your mind. And it makes just for a more effective, efficient rehearsal the next day. Okay, so 16th note, 2 accents, accents only, and I like the 4-2-1. I did not do the multiple heights today, but I might try that tomorrow. I was better at not being slow at 100, late prep for E and I also like the off the left variation because I think that'll help with to help you feel what it's easier to feel like 1E, but it's the same motion as E and. If you see yourself changing the motion just because you're playing on a different partial, that's usually a sign that you're doing something not quite right. Okay, we're gonna kick it up a notch tomorrow. I'm gonna start right at 100. So let's go 10, 10, 10 at 120, and then let's try 144. I'll do 10, 10, and 10. All right? Okay, guys. Do you know Jake Rader by chance? Phantom Snare. I don't know Jake, unfortunately. Sorry. Jack W, thank you for the outgoing hearts. Everybody, we're wrapping up here. Does anybody have any questions? If you'd like to win this floppy pad, join in the hashtag CLICK.FOLLOW for the week starting tomorrow. 2 accents, 16th note timing. You feeling froggy, 2:15 tomorrow. No, you are a speed racer. You feel a need for speed. I think for this one, just because, I'd be curious. Actually, I don't know, probably 140s is going to be the max trying to take. Is usually you don't have to find yourself. You don't find yourself playing figures like. And actually, what I want to do is expand out into some triplet timing, So we might try that later on this week, depending on how this goes. Or maybe we should just focus in for the hashtag wave for 5 and keep it on 60th note timing. We'll see. All right, guys. Thank you for the hearts. I'm curious to see who Turquoise is, because Turquoise has been lighting it up. And I noticed it. Kels. I knew it. Kels, I knew it. I've been watching your scopes. I watched your scope on the way home today from work, Kels. A lot of good stuff. You should have more confidence in your playing because you are doing a fantastic job. No need to apologize. No need to second guess yourself. Just keep doing what you're doing. It's good. And we're gonna get you some glue for your hands so you stop dropping your sticks. John 2000. All right, guys. Well, that's it. You're welcome. And then Kelsey, I haven't checked Instagram yet, but did you get my Instagram message? You're awesome, John. Do I know you, John? I feel like I haven't seen you before. John. Thanks, Nolan. All right, crazy stuff. Okay, John. I followed you, John. Kelsey, I did. Okay, awesome. CPEM, what is... I filled the form. Awesome. Connor. Oh, hey, bud. Okay, Connor, you got an extra follower now. Thanks for jumping in here, guys. Thanks for spending your Tuesday evening with me. I'm going to go edit some vlog footage. Later, Jack. Jack, am I following you? Just make sure. Yeah, I am. Okay, cool, Jack. All right, guys. Have a good rest of your evening. Thanks for tuning in. What is tomorrow? Oh, tomorrow's lunch with Carl. I haven't talked to Carl this week yet. We have so much to catch up on because I haven't seen him after SCPA. We haven't seen each other after WJ finals. It's been I'm in Carl withdrawal. So maybe we're gonna meet for lunch tomorrow. As far as I know, I'll check in with him tomorrow morning. And yeah, you can tune in and have lunch with us or catch the replay. The vlog footage is gonna be so rad, guys. I can't wait. If you have music suggestions for the vlog, I'd be open to that as well. I've got some good music. I've been checking out mostly Good Book Radio stuff and surfing the SoundCloud zone. But if you've got some music that you think would work well for that, let me know. You look very sophisticated with the glasses. Well, John, I'm a pretty sophisticated guy. So, all right, guys. Have a good rest of your evening, and I'll see you on tomorrow sometime. Hashtag CLICK.FOLLOW.CONNECT. It's not too late to start. If you want to start tomorrow, and you can win a floppy pad. Okay? All right. We'll see you guys. Have a good night. Bye.